A pregnancy is defined as the time between conception and birth. However, the World Health Organization reported in a recent study that preterm births are the #1 killer of children under the age of 5, nearly 1 million global deaths. So what if the answer to this was this, the artificial womb? This year, the FDA began discussing the possibility of using artificial wombs to help premature babies survive. But does this represent a scientific breakthrough or an ethical enigma? Imagine after being pregnant for 22 weeks, your life is turned upside down.
I started bleeding and then I got really scared. So I delivered Emily. And I was waiting for her to cry, and she didn't cry. And then our obstetrician said that she didn't make it.
Engineers and scientists around the world are currently working to develop systems that mimic the human uterus to prevent preemie deaths. The artificial womb, as it's commonly known, wouldn't replace a human womb, but would instead serve as a vital bridge for extremely premature babies. The artificial placenta prototype is typically a translucent container made of biocompatible material. This creates a protective environment so the fetus's lungs, intestines, and brain continue to develop. Upon birth, the premature baby is carefully placed inside the artificial womb, submerged in the synthetic amniotic fluid, just like in a natural womb. The baby is then connected to a system that functions like a placenta. This umbilical cord-like connection provides the baby with oxygen, nutrients, and also removes waste, just like a natural placenta. The conditions inside the artificial womb are carefully controlled by maintaining the correct temperature, fluid levels, and pressure, like the conditions of a natural womb. During this process, the baby's vital signs, growth, and development are closely monitored. With the support of the artificial womb, the preemie's underdeveloped lungs and other organs can develop further. As the baby continues developing, the conditions in the artificial womb are adjusted to prepare the baby to be born for a second time. Scientists believe that this technology could be a game changer and save people from heartache. People like Marnie. Marnie lost another premature baby after the loss of her first baby, and then this happened.
Well, the third time, I basically went on bed rest to give our baby the best chance of survival. Jacqueline was born at 23 weeks. I was like, not again. I couldn't believe that this was going to happen again. Our obstetrician said to me, I'm going to do everything that I can to try and save your baby. But he couldn't.
Research by the University of Utah Health determined that women who've had one premature baby have a 35 to 50% chance of having another. Companies like Australia's Independent Institute Women and Infants Research Foundation, where Marnie and Khan's story was taken from, are doing their best to help families like Marnie and Khan with their artificial womb research. So while the FDA compares standard neonatal care against artificial wombs to see if there's a great enough improvement to move this technology forward, scientists in Japan have already taken a huge step forward with sharks. When a shark is born prematurely, salt water is toxic to its fragile body. Unable to regulate salt levels, it often dies within hours. Researchers at the Okinawa Churaumi Aquarium in Japan came up with a solution: build an artificial uterus. This manufactured uterus is essentially a specialized tank that mimics the shark's natural environment, maintaining optimal conditions like temperature. Fertilized eggs were carefully transferred into this artificial womb. Then scientists closely monitored the eggs, adjusting conditions as needed to ensure the embryos developed correctly. The artificial womb can sustain midterm Mahler's preserves lantern shark embryos for up to a year, which is about 2/3 of their normal 18-month gestation period. Scientists hope this system will help sharks in their aquarium and eventually aid in boosting wild populations of other endangered shark species. Back in 2017, Alan Flake and Marcus Davey, bioengineers and researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, developed an artificial womb that grew a preterm lamb in a biobag filled with synthetic amniotic fluid. They've now done this over 300 times. While this all may sound like science fiction and raise some ethical concerns, engineers and scientists are driven by a bold vision to one day save the lives of premature babies in all forms. So if you enjoyed this week's episode of The Circuit, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more incredible engineering news.